legal team, he went ballistic. So I think that's a big point that people need to realize, is that Oklahoma City was two things. The government had prior knowledge that something was going to happen, and McVeigh did not act alone, and he didn't act just with the assistance of the 40ers and Terry Nichols.
Well, that's on record that there was a fax sent out to federal offices and federal FBI buildings, and that they thought they were going to bomb the FBI building that day, not the Alfred P. Murrah building that day. Of course, they had offices in both. And so it's on record that there were good feds out there trying to warn people ahead of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, a perfect example of that is the fact that U.S. District Judge Wayne Alley stated that he was told not to come to work that day. I mean, that, as you said, that's been in the mainstream media, and just if you look at who was there and who wasn't there when the bombing happened, that also adds credence to the fact that of the facts that McVeigh said about the government being involved.
Well, David Paul Hammer on death row in Terre Haute, Indiana. I want to be clear. I've studied this since 1995. When it happened, everything you've said is been backed up by other statements, other affidavits, government documents. So I want to just say, for listeners tuning in saying, why should we believe a convicted murderer who killed a cellmate, and that's why he's on death row, because everything he's saying is backed up with other people's statements, and it's just it's scary to have to even be involved in this and cover this. But we don't have a country, we don't have a future if we bow down to this. And I think it's very important that you not be executed. I think it's very important that they unfreeze the fact that they'll never let you get to the media. I mean, how many years has it been since you've been able to ever talk to media live?
The last time I was able to talk to media was in December 1999. That was before McVeigh's 60-minute interview, and they stopped all others. And that was a TV interview, a local TV interview that I gave then. And all requests for national interviews, even before that and afterwards, have been denied. My fight, I fought it all the way to the Supreme Court and had numerous news organizations. I had 22 news organizations file an amicus brief with the United States Supreme Court asking the court to hear this case because they thought the ban on the media, and I'm talking about all the mainstream media, from the LA Times to the Washington Post, New York Times, they all joined the amicus brief. The reporters professional journalism. Well, I can't remember all the names of the societies that joined in, but it was impressive. But
well, here we are, and the world's hearing it right now. Other things McVeigh told you. Run back through it. Any other points you haven't made?
Well, a couple of things, and I found support in this is the fact that he rented a truck in St. Paul, Minnesota, and one of the trucks that was used to build a bomb, not the bomb that actually exploded, but another bomb, that one that Terry Nichols helped him construct. The truck was actually a Ryder truck rented in St. Paul, Minnesota. I found in the documents, when he told me this, I was somewhat skeptical. I was never able to track it down. But bound to behold, when I got a hold of the defense documents, there was an FBI 302, and it says that there was a grand jury going on at the same time the grand jury was convened in Oklahoma City. A second grand jury was convened in St. Paul, Minnesota, and that they were investigating and trying to get records from a Ryder truck rental agency there. And so I truly believe there was at least 3 trucks used as part of the bombing plot in Oklahoma City, and that I've been able to verify.
Again, if you just joined us, David Paul Hammer has been able to get through to us. There's no gag order, nothing even legal involved from the lawyers I've talked to. This is just the government won't let anybody talk to death row inmates, and I think that violates their First Amendment. I think it empowers tyranny. If I ever get framed for something or put in prison. I want to be able to talk to the media. They built a new supermax. The news has reported that they're going to keep, quote, American terrorists in when they're suspects, and they're not allowed to talk to their family, friends, or even lawyers. They've got legislation where citizens can be secretly arrested, stripped of all rights. The Violent Belligerence Act, but it says in there for any intelligence purpose, you disappear. And then only an act of Congress can even tell folks where you are. You can be given enhanced interrogation. That's been in the news. The headline, Senate wants citizens to be arrested if they're on suspicion of terrorism and be stripped of citizenship. Sir, you're not planning to commit suicide in jail, are you?
No, I'm not. I have absolutely no intent or desire to kill myself. As a matter of fact, I want to live as long as I can. And I want to say this, that I'm speaking out publicly because I want them to be a record of what I have to say. And one of the questions that I would pose to your audience and to you and just to anyone, what in the world does the government think I can say that's going to harm them? The only thing can be is that they're going to be, what's going to happen if it comes out that, yes, in fact, they covered up what happened in Oklahoma City. And there's no doubt they did. But I'm an inmate on death row, and as you said, credibility is an issue. People will believe me or they won't. I don't have an axe to grind with the government.
Well, I believe you because he told other, we have to pull up the mainstream articles. I can't remember all the places, but the quote was, one day it's going to come out the government did this. Do you remember where he said that?
No, but I have read or heard that before, and McVeigh clearly knew that I was going to write the information he was giving me. I wrote an earlier book that was published in 2004, but without the benefit of the investigation and the documents and the stuff that we've been able to accumulate since then. And so, I wrote the book and told bits and pieces of what McVeigh told us, but the majority of the stuff I had to leave out because it hadn't been verified yet. And this latest book details it. And
give the websites out again for people that want to go see this testament.
It's www.deadly-secrets.com. Or if you just Google Deadly Secrets or David Paul Hammer, it'll come up that way too.
Well, I hope you've got a lot of bandwidth because you're going to get hit with probably 500,000 hits.
Well, I really hope that people go and look at it, and not only that, Alex, someone has to care. Someone has to still care what happened in Oklahoma City.
Oh, listen, Mr. Hammer, I'm risking my life right now even doing this interview with you. I've got a family. I understand. Somebody's got to stand up. Somebody's got to say no. I'm not a death row inmate. I've seen all the documents you've seen. It's on record that they blew that building, and none of us are safe. And look how they're looting us with the banks. Look at how they want to arrest citizens now with no charges. We're in trouble. And so we need men to be men, not mice, and stand up to these people. And I'll never commit suicide, and I don't use drugs, and I'm not involved in anything illegal.
Right. Well, I also want to tell you, I welcome this opportunity to be able to speak out, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity because, I have been wanting a way to not just make a written testament of what happened, but to get people to mobilize. I don't know if me saying anything is going to mobilize anyone, but I hope it'll at least motivate people to think about what. Well,
resistance is victory. Resistance is victory. And you have and I believe you because everything you've already said is confirmed by others separately. When you talk about him saying they were going to stage his death, it was in the newspaper and on TV in Indiana that he was breathing when they took him out. You can pull that up. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Final segment with our guest. Hopefully he'll still be there when we get back from break. By the grace of God, his call made it through to us. And this is just incredible. And God protect us, please. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
The problem.
How do I cook food without power?
How do I light my home with no electricity?
How do I get emergency radio broadcasts?
How can I make safe drinking water?
When your power goes out, the solution for cooking, baking, home lighting, listening to the radio, and producing clean water is the Family Emergency Kit from Karo Stove. Karo Stove has been in business for over 12 years with the largest selection of kerosene stoves and family preparedness supplies in the U.S. Now, get the Family Emergency Kit at KEROstove.com for only $4